Okay, so we're talking posture. So let's stand up and I'll show you the standing version of what good posture alignment feels like, and not only the mechanics of it, but then start to help you to get a better sense of the feeling associated with that position. And so we'll start with standing and then we'll go to sitting and show you that one. So in posture, if you just take a stance, whatever feels strongest to you, just put your feet underneath you how you would normally do. And then just look down at your feet and just notice the position. Are they straight ahead? Are they typically turned out away from one another? Does one turn out more than the other? Just getting a sense of how your feet land underneath you. That's step one. And when we consciously practice posture, it's a good idea to start from the ground up, get the feet to where they're at least straight, parallel to each other, or maybe 15, 20 degrees in an out-turn position like that. Whatever feels strongest in that zone for you, go ahead and start with that. And from there, I'm just going to imagine I'm a puppet on a string. So one of those strings is attached to the very crown of my head, to the top of my head, and as if a puppeteer is pulling me up from that string, up off the ground, right from the crown of my head, it lengthens. I don't know if you can feel that. Imagine that happening, and you'll feel your spine just go whoop, up into length. You'll become taller. It's different than your chin going up. Chin doesn't go up. If I'm getting pulled from the very crown of the head, it's pulling right through the center, down through the center line of my spine and pulling from my spine, essentially. So my chin stays neutral, so I'm looking straight ahead at the horizon, but I start there. I have my feet where I want them to be, and then I lengthen as if I'm getting pulled off the floor. And so once you feel your spine is lengthened right there, it's going to pull your shoulders back with it. So if I slump, my shoulders follow, and if I stand straight and strong through my spine, my shoulders follow. Now you may be too tight in certain areas that won't allow you still to be in the perfect posture, even if you make that correction. But that's where you need to start. Just let everything else fall in line where your spine takes it, but direct it from that spine. Puppet on a string. Lengthen through the spine. You'll feel your nice, almost like a rigidity build up in the spine. Muscles around it activate from that. And then I just want to make sure that my knees are not locked out. So typically, a lot of people will lock their knees out, and when we lock the knees out, the body takes the lazy stance, and it's resting the weight on the joints of the knee, and it's compressing the lower back too much. So we just got to make sure that our knees are not completely locked out. We're not talking about bending them to the point where you start noticing you're shrinking in height, but you want to make sure the joint is not locked, that it's just soft. So I'm just soft, and I've got that puppet on a string, and my shoulders are resting on my body, on my spine. So I don't have to pull them back at this point. If we just try to direct the postural change from the shoulders without the spine being the primary focus, we're going to redirect tension problems from the front of your shoulders to the back of your shoulder, and it won't improve your posture. So the keys again are start from your feet, get them in that position parallel or slightly rotated from one another. Puppet on a string, getting lifted, and then knees just making sure they're soft. And when you stand in this position and you breathe and you just feel your body, that's the whole goal, is just to feel your body. So what you're doing is you're burning this position into your nervous system's memory. And so it's a good idea to take a few slow breaths and just feel what's happening inside of your body. Feel what your spine is doing, what the alignment is like. Feel where your shoulders are. Feel where your hips are. Feel where your feet are on the ground. You're just going through your body and you're scanning it with your feeling radar, so to speak. And you're gaining a greater connection to your body and a greater awareness of your body. So again, feet, puppet on a string, and knees soft. And all you do when you're sitting is you don't have to worry about the lower half of the body. think of that puppet on a string. And from there, you can operate at your desk and just, again, trying to touch base and tune in, check in as many times as you can through the day, because you want to create as many opportunities as you can to catch yourself in poor posture and make a correction. And the more you make a correction, the more you're going to burn it in to your nervous system, and it'll become first nature again to you. You won't have to think about it.